The flyer is barely taped to corkboard, curled edges, a smear of charcoal across one corner. Life models needed. Paid. No experience necessary. Respectful space. Noah folds it neatly into his textbook and walks away like it means nothing. But by nightfall, he's Googling how to pose for artists without dying of shame. He tells himself it's just money. That's what he needs. Not feelings, not friendships, just rent. First-year med school doesn't wait for soul-searching. The days are a blur of fluorescent lights, scrubs, and cardiac rhythms. He hasn't felt like a person in weeks. When he arrives at the address, it's nothing like campus. No sterile white halls. No clipboards. The studio is warm and chaotic, lit by sunlight spilling through warehouse windows. A record player hums in the corner, old jazz trembling softly. And then he sees Avi. Or rather, Avi sees him, emerging from behind a massive canvas, splattered in paint like he's been swallowed by a kaleidoscope. Avi's curls are half-tied, his shirt sleeves rolled and stained, and his smile lands with the ease of someone who knows exactly how much space they take up. "You're early," Avi says, brushing hands on his jeans. "You're Noah?" Noah nods. "You said no experience necessary." Avi grins, amused. "And I meant it. You're here. That's enough." The first session is awkward. Noah stands stiffly on the platform, unsure where to look, what to do with his hands, how to breathe. He wears gym shorts and an old tee. He's not ready for anything more. Avi doesn't push. Just sketches with slow confidence, barely speaking. "You don't have to perform," Avi says during a break. "You're not a subject. You're a story." Noah raises an eyebrow. "Pretty sure I'm just standing here." Avi smirks. "Exactly. Stillness tells the truth faster than movement ever could." It sounds like nonsense, but there's something hypnotic about the way Avi talks. Like he's narrating something you haven't noticed yet. Noah finds himself returning, again and again, telling no one. Over the next few weeks, patterns form. Noah arrives just after sunset, shedding the hospital smell, his mind still ringing with terminology and tension. Avi's there, barefoot, painting under harsh studio lights, always humming. They speak in fragments. Coffee orders, favorite jazz tracks, a shared hatred for a cold pizza. Noah still won't let him paint bare skin. Not yet, but Avi never asks. He just sketches, strokes, builds layers of light and shadow. Until one night, Avi says, "You know, you're harder to paint than anyone I've ever met." Noah blinks. "Why?" "Because you hide, even when you think you're still." Noah doesn't reply. He just stays, longer than usual, watching Avi dip his brush in ochre and whisper color into canvas. There's a silence between them, not empty, just waiting. And in that silence, something unspoken begins to bloom. That'd be why the fifth session, Noah stops flinching when Avi touches his arm to adjust a pose. He still doesn't talk much during the sessions, but now he watches Avi work. Watches the way his brow furrows when the lighting shifts. Watches how his fingers twitch before the brush touches canvas, like he's composing a symphony in his head. The walls are filling with versions of him. Noah in profile, Noah with hands clasped, Noah seated in quiet tension. But none of them are finished. Avi always says, "Not yet," then moves on. During a break, Noah asks, "Why don't you ever complete them?" Avi shrugs. "I don't paint people. I paint the moments between who they were and who they're becoming." You're still in between. Noah scoffs. "That's poetic." "It's true," Avi says and add with a grin. "And I thought med students were supposed to be precise." Noah smirks. The banter is becoming easier. It sneaks up on him like warmth in a cold room. One evening, rain taps against the windows while the space heater hums beneath the platform. Avi gestures for Noah to sit instead of stand. We'll do something softer today. Noah lowers himself onto the stool. Avi moves closer, kneeling at his feet. He dips a brush into water and gently paints lines across Noah's hand. Not for the canvas, just to feel the texture. Relax, Avi murmurs, eyes on the veins beneath Noah's skin. Hands carry memory. You can tell what someone survived just by how they hold them. Noah doesn't pull away. The sensation is strangely intimate. Not erotic, not platonic, just close. His voice is quiet when he finally says, "I never wanted to be a doctor." Avi looks up. "I'm good at it," Noah continues, "and my family expects it. But if I disappeared tomorrow, I'm not sure anyone would notice I'm gone. Not the real me." Avi is still. The brush slips from his fingers and rolls across the floor. "I'd notice," he says. Noah's eyes meet his. For a moment, the world narrows. The ticking clock fades. The rain disappears. There's only this moment, this unbearable honesty. But the moment passes. Avi stands, brisk again, breaks over. The pose that follows is different. Noah's shoulders are less guarded, his gaze not quite so blank. The canvas takes on new texture, new life. That night, Avi doesn't show Noah the sketch. Instead, he covers it and walks him to the door. "You okay?" Avi asks. Noah nods. "Yeah, just tired." Avi watches him linger at the threshold, like he wants to stay. "You're allowed to exist without earning it," Avi says softly. "You don't have to carry the whole world." Noah doesn't respond, but he turns back just once before the door clicks shut behind him. And upstairs, Avi uncovers a sketch. It's Noah, eyes closed, hand painted in light, like he's finally allowed to rest. The invitation arrives tucked under Noah's apartment door, a thick ivory card smeared faintly with blue paint. Stillness in motion, a private collection. Saturday, 7 p.m., open wine, closed eyes. Noah's thumb grazes the embossed lettering. Avi never mentioned it, never hinted. Still, part of him is flattered. Maybe this is how it starts, the real us. He arrives late, breath caught between nervousness and hope. The gallery is a converted loft, low light, exposed beams, the scent of oil paint and red wine. Laughter hums under soft jazz, and the walls are lined with canvases. Noah freezes. He's everywhere. One canvas shows him reclined, head tilted, the tension in his jaw tenderly captured. Another renders him shirtless from back, sunlight bathing the ridge of his spine. They're intimate, vulnerable, unspoken, and none of them none he's ever seen. A couple nearby murmurs admiringly. The model's raw, unaware, like he's breathing inside the brushstroke. Noah's stomach twists. He finds Avi across the room, effortlessly charming, surrounded by guests. Their eyes meet, and Avi's smile falters. "You use me," Noah says, voice low but sharp. Avi pulls him aside, suddenly serious. "No, I painted you. You never asked to show them. I trusted you. I stood still so you could see me, not sell me." Avi's face hardens. "You're not a product. You're the truth on my canvas. I thought you'd understand." Noah laughs bitterly. "You thought I'd be flattered, that I'd smile at being exposed." "It's not exposure," Avi replies. "It's reverence. You don't get to decide what part of me the world deserves." Noah snaps. "That's mine." The room tilts, people watching, murmuring. The intimacy they built, undone in a heartbeat. Noah turns to leave, but Avi calls after him. "I only painted what you gave me." Noah doesn't look back. "Then you never really saw me." Outside, the night presses cold against his chest. The silence is no longer comforting. It's cavernous. He walks for miles, past quiet bars and blinking street lamps. past the studio where they laughed over jazz and spilled coffee. It's dark now. Silent. He doesn't go inside. The next morning, Noah skips class. He lies in bed, unable to face fluorescent lights and clinical masks. His phone buzzes with a message from Abby. Just a photo. A painting. Noah, eyes open, sitting, fully clothed, hands resting in his lap, gaze calm, not performative. Scene. And beneath it, one line. The only one I never showed. The one that mattered most. Noah stares at it for a long time. He deletes the message, but he saved the image. Weeks pass. Noah returns to his rotations. Long hours, stilted greetings, clinical detachment. The silence between him and Abby stretches like a blank canvas. Endless, untouched, heavy with what was once possible. But something's shifted. His professors notice it. So do his classmates. He's more present now. Still quiet, but steadier, like he's found some invisible rhythm inside himself. Late one evening, after a brutal 12-hour shift, Noah steps off the bus and finds himself standing in front of the studio. The lights are off. He almost walks away, but the door is cracked open. Inside, the space is messier than he remembers. Half-finished canvases lean against every wall. Abby sits in the center of the room, surrounded by color, staring at a blank stretch of canvas. He looks up, startled. For a moment, neither of them speaks. Then Noah says softly, "I saw the one you didn't show." Abby stands slowly. "You weren't supposed to." "I know," Noah replies, "but I'm glad I did." Abby exhales, guilt and relief mixing in his breath. "I never meant to hurt you. I thought if I showed the world what I saw in you, it'd make you believe it too." "I didn't need the world," Noah says. "I just needed you to ask." Silence again, but this time it's not broken. It breathes. Noah walks deeper into the room, stepping over sketch pads and forgotten palettes. He gestures toward the blank canvas. "You stuck?" he asks. Abby nods. "I can't paint someone else. Not after you." Noah's lips twitch into something like a smile. "Then don't." Abby hesitates. "Would you ever? Would you let me start again?" This time, no exhibitions. No secrets. Noah meets his gaze. "Only if I can paint you too." Abby blinks. "You don't paint." Noah shrugs. "You didn't model either." They both laugh, tired, cautious, real. A kind of truce. Maybe a beginning that isn't built on art or silence, but choice. Later, Abby clears a space on the floor, and they sit side by side, cross-legged in the hum of the studio heater. Brushes stay untouched. There's no rush, no pose, just presence. Abby reaches out, fingers brushing the back of Noah's hand, but doesn't grab, doesn't demand, just asks wordlessly. This time, Noah doesn't pull away. There's no grand declaration, no sudden kiss, just two boys in a quiet studio, learning to be seen and to see. Together, the world outside remains chaotic, bodies to heal, canvases to fill. But in this small corner of it, something honest takes root. Not stillness, but choice. And maybe that's the kind of love that lasts.